Chapter 7, Key Signatures. In Chapter 6, we learned to construct major scales by adding accidentals to individual scale degrees so that the scale would conform to the major scale formula. While this is a reliable way to construct scales, it is much more practical for the musician to memorize the key signature for each major scale. Key signatures are arrangements of either flats or sharps placed at the beginning of the music or musical section that tell the performer which accidentals to use throughout without having to notate them on every affected pitch. There are a finite number of major keys, so the memorization of all the key signatures is not all that difficult and rather essential for musicians. The first 3 key signatures to memorize are shown here in both the G and the F clef. Because the key of C major requires no accidentals, there are none in the C major key signature. G major has 1 sharp on F, as you discovered by using the scale formula back in Chapter 6. When you construct the key signature of G major, it is essential that you place this sharp on line 5 for the G clef or on line 4 for the F clef. While there are multiple potential places where a sharp on F could be placed, we need to keep the visual appearance of key signatures consistent for ease of memorization and recognition. Likewise, for the key of F major, the flat on B must always be placed on either line 3 for the G clef or line 2 for the F clef. Keys that have sharps in the key signature are sometimes called the sharp keys. Here's a chart of all the sharp keys. When written in this successive order, the sharp keys seem to grow by 1 sharp as you move left to right, always retaining the sharps of the key signature to the left. You should carefully compare these key signatures to the major scales you created back in Chapter 6, as they should present the same sharps you derived from the scale formula. We are not really learning anything new here, just a more refined way of expressing and organizing the major keys. Note that the key of C sharp major has 7 sharps, 1 for each note of the alphabet. Now this would be the logical key signature to memorize, as it displays the culmination of the pattern of sharps displayed in the example. Here is a closer look at the C sharp key signature. It is a bit stretched out so that you can better understand it. Now, if you memorize the C sharp major key signature, you will know how to draw all of the sharp key signatures. There are several ways to memorize the order of sharp placement. Some music students like to count the intervals from sharp to sharp and memorize the pattern. For example, counting the letters of the alphabet from F sharp to C sharp, we can see that it is down 4 notes, F, E, D, C. Therefore, the pattern of the entire C sharp major key signature is down 4, up 5, down 4, down 4, up 5, down 4. Another good memorization method is to invent a saying for the order of sharps. A quick internet search will reveal several sayings, but here's a good one. Father Charles goes down and ends battle. To place the sharps correctly, place them as high as you can on the staff without using ledger lines. Now you should go to Check Your Understanding 7.1 on page 83 to practice writing the C sharp major key signature in the G clef and also the F clef. To recognize a sharp key signature, simply look at the last sharp at the far right of the key signature and name the tone a minor second higher. This is easy, as you can just place a note on the line or space higher than the last sharp, and this will be the same, as the name of the key. For example, the key signature with 4 sharps is the key of E major. The last sharp on the far right side of the E major key signature is D sharp. The note placed on the space higher than D sharp is E. All the sharp key signatures are named in this example by using this method. Just remember that if you place a note on the space or line higher than the last sharp, and if that line or space has a sharp in the key signature, then the name of the key also includes the sharp. This is the case for the keys of F sharp major and C sharp major, as seen in the example. Now that you can recognize the sharp key signatures, it will be easy to write them. For example, if you wish to write the key signature for B major, simply start writing the sharps in the correct order that you memorized, either visually or by the saying. Every time you write a sharp, say the name of the key out loud. When you get to B, you are done. And now you should do Check Your Understanding 7.2 on page 84 to try naming and writing some sharp keys. Flat keys. Keys that have flats in the key signature are sometimes called the flat keys. And here is a chart of all the flat keys. When written in this successive order, the flat key signatures seem to grow by 1 flat as you move left to right, always retaining the flats of the key signature to the left. The key of C flat major has 7 flats, 1 for each note of the alphabet. As we did with C sharp major, we will memorize the key signature of C flat. We'll do that first, as it displays the culmination of the pattern of flats as displayed in the example. And here is a closer look at the C flat major key signature, which is a bit stretched out. If you memorize the C flat major key signature, you will know how to draw all of the flat key signatures. And there are several ways to memorize the order of flat placement. You can count the intervals from flat to flat and memorize the pattern as you did with the sharps. For example, counting the letters of the alphabet from B flat to E flat, we can see that it is up 4 notes, B, C, D, E. And therefore the pattern of the entire key signature would be up 4, down 5, up 4, down 5, up 4, down 5. Another memorization method is to invent a saying for the order of flats. And you could consider this saying: battle ends and down goes Charles's father. Now, if you compare this rather unusual saying with the one you used for the sharps previously, you will see that it is the same saying in reverse. Battle ends and down goes Charles's father. Father Charles goes down and ends battle. Interestingly, the order of flats is the reverse of the order of sharps. Now you can invent other sayings that can be read forwards and backwards, such as breakfast eating after donuts gets Charlie fat. And notice you could say it as fat Charlie gets donuts after eating breakfast. These are the best sayings to use when learning flats and sharps. Write out the order of the flats by going to Check Your Understanding 7.3 on page 85. To recognize a flat key signature, simply look at the last flat at the far right of the key signature and count 4 alphabetic letters lower. You will get the same result for most of the key signatures if you look at the second to last flat, going left to right. That will be the name of the key. For example, the key signature with 4 flats is the key of A flat major, and the second to last flat in that key signature is A flat. Now, this does not work so well for the key of F, but you've already memorized that key signature. All the flat key signatures are named here by using that method. Writing the flat key signatures is much like writing the sharp key signatures. For example, if you wish to write the key signature for D flat major, simply start writing the flats in the correct order you memorized, either visually or by the saying. And every time you write a flat, say the name of the key out loud. When you get to D flat, you are done. You should go ahead to Check Your Understanding 7.4 on page 86 and try naming and writing a few flat key signatures.